Resurgence of nuclear weapons testing. Science, risks, and global implications. For decades, the world has largely avoided nuclear weapons testing, adhering to an informal moratorium reinforced by the Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty, CTBT, of 1996. However, pressure to resume testing is mounting, driven by modernization efforts, aging arsenals, and political rhetoric. The U.S., despite not ratifying the CTBT, has maintained restraint since 1992. But this could shift as policymakers consider testing necessary to certify weapon reliability. The end of restraint. The current situation is precarious. North Korea remains the only nation to conduct nuclear tests this century. In 2017, while other countries have technically abided by the spirit of the CTBT, the U.S. relies on stockpile stewardship, a program of non-explosive experiments and computer simulations, to confirm that its nuclear weapons function as designed. However, doubts about aging components and the long-term reliability of the stockpile are driving calls for live testing. Why this matters? The taboo against nuclear testing has been a cornerstone of strategic stability. Breaking it risks a cascading effect, as other nations including Russia, China, and potential proliferators may feel compelled to follow suit. This could trigger a new arms race, undermining decades of arms control efforts and increasing the risk of accidental escalation. The science behind nuclear certification. Nuclear weapons function through two primary reactions: fission, splitting heavy atoms, and fusion, combining light atoms. Modern weapons use fission to initiate fusion, amplifying destructive power. Historically, explosive tests were the only way to verify these reactions proceeded correctly. Today, the U.S. employs subcritical experiments at facilities like the Nevada National Security Site. These tests involve detonating explosives around plutonium pits, the core of nuclear warheads, without achieving a self-sustaining chain reaction. Researchers use X-rays and other diagnostics to study how materials behave under extreme conditions. Why this is significant? Plutonium ages over time, potentially degrading its performance. These subcritical experiments assess weapon reliability. But some scientists argue they cannot fully replicate the complexities of a full-scale detonation. Risks and consequences. Early nuclear tests were conducted in the atmosphere, spreading radioactive fallout and causing widespread environmental and health damage. Later tests moved underground to contain contamination, though accidents still occurred. Modern subcritical experiments do not produce fallout, but a return to explosive testing would inevitably raise environmental and geopolitical concerns. The global implications are severe. A resurgence of testing could accelerate nuclear proliferation as countries without weapons seek to develop their own deterrence, undermine international arms control treaties, making future negotiations more difficult, increase the risk of miscalculation or accidental use of nuclear weapons, particularly in crises. The current system of stewardship relies on simulations and experiments, but the margin for error is shrinking as weapons age. A single miscalculation could have catastrophic consequences. A nuclear physics expert in conclusion, the potential revival of nuclear weapons testing represents a dangerous shift in global security. While scientific concerns about stockpile reliability are valid, the risks of escalation and proliferation far outweigh any perceived benefits. Maintaining the existing testing moratorium is crucial to preventing a new nuclear arms race and preserving strategic stability.